Hello dear friends, so today I'm going to talk a little bit more about sleep and actually about improving the quality of our sleep. So in my last video I mentioned how important it is for all of us to get a good night's sleep, and actually this is really important also for children because our younger ones are also not managing a good night's sleep nowadays. So some of us may get a good duration of sleep, but our quality of sleep seems to have gone down over the last decade or so, or even more than that. And technology does seem to have a big role in this, because the gadgets that we're using all day, the phones, the screens, even the LED lights, they all impact on our sleep because of the blue light that they radiate. But also keeping our brains active and not letting us relax when it's time to go to bed. So I would just like to do a little quick recap of the benefits of a good night's sleep. So first of all, is during the sleep time there's a cleansing process happening, which is removing all the harmful material, the toxins, including a particular hormone that can cause dementia, and that hormone is also removed. The other things that sleep does, it improves our memory formation, our ability to form new memories, and to be able to and it consolidates our old memories, but also removes some of our bad memories. So it is actually very good for those who have post-traumatic stress disorder as well. So it removes our thoughts that we don't want to hold on to. So there's a good cleansing process happening during our sleep. Other than that, it also helps your concentration the next day, and it helps you learn and retain information. And during the sleep, we are also reducing inflammation, so it improves our immunity and reduces our stress. So it's very important to get a good night's sleep, and we all know that, and the quality of sleep is very important. Now, technology seems to have a big role. What's important to recognize is that the sun, the sunlight, has a big impact on our body clock, our circadian rhythm, which determines our ability to sleep, and it regulates a lot of body functions, and one of them is sleep. So when we wake up in the morning, it is important to stimulate ourselves by sunlight, by daylight, by opening up the curtains, spending some time outside during the morning and during the daytime. And as the evening progresses, it's important that we dim our lights. So the difficulty is, because we all live indoors and we spend a lot of time indoors in front of screens, we have a lot of light exposure. And ideally, we do not want that light exposure, especially in the evenings when our brain wants to go to sleep. So we are actually having these things are having a negative impact on our ability to naturally fall asleep. The other thing is that we're staying up to watch TV and do other things on our phone. So it's really important that we have a set time. Now, our body clock likes to sleep within a certain window, and that window is really between 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. So that's a good time to go to sleep. And before that, you need to wind down a little. So dimming down the lights, putting technology away at least an hour before. Same for the children. And caffeine, which is a stimulator, should not really be taken in the evenings, and ideally if you can finish it by 12 noon, it's a good idea, especially if someone has a problem is falling asleep, to have all your caffeine before that time and not have it later in the day. So the other things to bear in mind is doing exercise just before bedtime can actually stimulate the brain and affect your sleep. So it's important that we don't do any vigorous exercises in the last 1 or 2 hours before going to sleep. So that time is simply for calming down, doing relaxation techniques like breathing exercises. We can do some stretching, we can do yoga, but just keep it gentle, no vigorous exercise. Put all the gadgets away, close your television at least an hour before. Try not to have a television in your bedroom, and do the same for the children. And in the daytime, it's really important that we do some exercise, which will help us sleep better at night. And the same applies to children. And if they can do it outdoors rather than being on computer games all day, which really does have a negative impact on our sleep, it would be a very good idea for them to be outdoors. So other things that can help are The room temperature is important, so ideal temperature for sleeping is 17 degrees Celsius, so it needs to be cooler. And some people find having a bath is helpful, because when you have a bath, then you come out of the bath, you are reducing your body temperature, so that can also be helpful. So it's important that our bedtime is stress-free, we are cooled down, we're not in front of a screen in the last hour or so, we're not getting involved in any stressful discussions, conflicts. So if there's anything like that, it's best to, if you have something to discuss that may arouse your thoughts and make you feel a little distressed, it's better to keep that for the next day. Watching the news, watching any sort of program that could be involving some negativity, some negative thoughts, is best to not watch late at night before bedtime. So I would say from 8 p.m. onwards, it should be a winding down period. And I know that could be difficult for a lot of people, because that's the time people like to watch the television and be on the phone. But it's really important that we get a good night's sleep. And I would say the maximum time to sleep by is 11 p.m. And if we can limit our use of technology in the last hour or so, it can improve our sleep. There is good research now to show that technology is actually impacting our quality of sleep. Even if we are getting the correct duration, it is affecting our ability to have a good night's restful sleep, because the sleep has several cycles that it has to go through. And if our sleep is broken, or we are not going through all the stages as we are meant to, that does impact on our ability to function the next day, and it has a long-term impact on our health. So it's really important that we look after ourselves by getting a very good night's sleep and having a good bedtime routine, waking up to the sun and start to dim things down as the evening progresses. So thank you very much.